What's good, everyone? And we're back. Mission number 3. This is going to be the intro to the mission. So the Flesh Tearers chapter returns back to Hoth to pursue its own goals. Chapter Master Seth has decided that he's going to pursue the lantern for himself. But the chapter finds that when they arrive on Hoth, they find a massive Necron force has awoken. More Necrons are awaking. More systems are coming online. And what was supposed to be a dormant planet. Seth has also received communications from the Ultramarines, and he finds that they're in the system pursuing a campaign to stop a cultist uprising on a planet in the same system called Vesper. And it turns out that on planet Vesper, there's a second sister militant order on Vesper pursuing the campaign alongside the Captain Sicarius of the Ultramarines. Now, the Ultramarines have kept this communique silent, secret between the two chapters. After all, Space Marine chapters are battle brothers first before they will trust the Inquisition. So it turns out that Chapter Master Seth has told Captain Sicarius about the Inquisitor Lord Vesper's about the secrets that she's keeping and the lies that she's spreading about the reason that she's here, and for two chapters to be in the same place pursuing a campaign with two planets next by each other is strange enough. As it is, the chapter master has decided to come back to Hoth to get his base of operations so that he can pursue his own goals. So this is where we are. A huge Necron force this time. Heavy destroyers, warriors, flayed ones, more warriors, scarabs. Now an overlord with a destroyer body has arrived. Two tomb spiders, more warriors, wraiths this time, and more destroyers. Alright, deployment is done. The Flesh Tearers have deployed a unit of scouts in cover here, taking cover. They're doing a little recon ahead of the main force. The chapter master, the captain, and the Reclusium are in the Storm Raven. The rest of the battle company that Seth is in charge of here have all arrived. The goal of this mission is very simple. It's about taking territory. It's about controlling territory. So the Flesh Tearers control the most territory. The Flesh Tearers make their base of operations. Very simple. Problem solved. The goals for the Necrons is very different. The Flesh Tearers need to take the most table quarters. The more table quarters they own with no enemies there, those are their very simple objectives. They win. Their 4 quarters. Table is broken into 4 quarters. The Flesh Tearers own the most quarters. They win. On the Necron end, their objective is very different. Their objectives is to destroy the Flesh Tearers force. Very simple. So turn 1 coming up. Alright, that's the end of turn number 1. And the Necron's rate of fire just never ceased to amaze me. The destroyers here, I had 6 destroyers that fired in on the Death Company. A total of 18 shots with their Gauss cannons. 2 Death Company went down from the shooting. It was like a total of like 9 wounds, but the Feel No Pain helped the Death Company survive. And then the heavy destroyers killed 1 scout over here. During the scout's turn, they fired back at the warrior squad, killing 1 warrior. The other warrior fixed itself and stood up. The scarabs have all moved out in front, going ahead of the main force. All of the Necrons, as you guys can see, have just kind of moved around. The Flesh Tearers force has done the same thing, just kind of moved around and moved up. A lot of assault companies coming, assault squads coming up, being supported by Land Speeder, and that's pretty much it. That's turn 1. All right, that was the end of turn 2. So, as you can see, the Death Company are taking more casualties. 3 more Death Company guys went down. Right now, they're just kind of trying to hold on. The Scarabs moved up. Again, the 2 units of destroyers took down the Death Company. Wraiths are moving up. The Kinetic Spider is moving up. The Warriors are kind of standing still. Over here, more Warriors moved up to take positions. The Scarabs assaulted the Scouts. The Scouts won the combat, but there are still 3 Scarab bases there. As you can see, there are 3 Scouts died in the combat. 1 Scarab base was killed in the combat, another one wounded, and this Scarab base was destroyed to shooting prior to charging. Wow, and turn 3 was a brutal turn for both sides. In turn 3, Gabriel Seth and his Storm Raven arrived. The Storm Raven came in and destroyed an entire unit of Necron destroyers. The Land Speeder came up over here from the side. The Land Speeder came in and took out the Tomb Spider that you see here. And Vanguard Veteran Squad came in to do a heroic intervention, did their shooting before assaulting. They took down 1 Necron destroyer. It ended up fixing itself during the Necron's turn, but it didn't matter because the Wraiths came up and the Tomb Spider came up and killed the Vanguard Veteran Squad. They went through that squad very easily. On the side over here, Tactical Squad Archivo came in to support the Scouts, took out the Scarabs. The Necron Warriors came up in their turn and rapid fired, killing 1 Tactical Marine. But for the most part, they took cover, bunkered down. The heavy destroyers came in, firing at the Storm Raven, along with the remaining 2 destroyers. These 2 just fixed themselves. And the Warriors here also, they fired everything at the Storm Raven, but was unable to hurt it. And the Storm Raven has come in with the Chapter Master and has turned the tide. It was looking grim for the Flesh Tearers. It's still looking grim, but the Flesh Tearers have a better shot now of surviving. So the next turn coming up, turn 4, stand by. Wow, brutal turn. Wow, I told you guys. That was the end of turn 4. And the Storm Raven went into hover mode. It went over and landed. Because it's an assault vehicle, Gabriel Seth and the Death Company, along with the Reclusium and Captain Castijen, assaulted the Necrons over here. And they absolutely butchered the Necrons. However, Gabriel Seth is locked in a challenge over here, and he actually is losing the challenge to the Necron Lord. The Necron destroyers, the heavy destroyers, and the 3 destroyers over here fired on the Storm Raven to try to bring it down, even though they don't need 6s, and it was just a horrible turn of rolling for the Necrons. Right here, the Necron Warriors all fired everything at the Death Company Dread with the Blood Talons. And look at all of those 6s. They just absolutely took it down easily. The Death Company here during the assault killed the Wraiths. The Tomb Spider was killed by the Land Speeder over here. And all of that leaves is the Tactical Squad in a firefight with the Necron unit over here. 8 of those Necrons got killed and they all got back up. fired back in, and they killed um, two Flesh Terror Marines and two warriors, two destroyers. The two destroyers were shot down by the Storm Raven on its way in that way to Hurricane Bolters. And so that's the end of turn 4. There was a lot of fighting. It's still kind of even right now. So turn 5 coming up. Alright guys, that's the end of turn number 5, and that ends the game. The Flesh Terror's Death Company killed this entire Necron unit over here, and then the Death Company also redirected after winning the assault over there with the captain and the chaplain here looking over the captain, and they take out the destroyers over here. The Chief Reclusiarch, he comes over and he kills the heavy destroyer. Seth is still locked in combat over here, but Seth is still losing. All of the Necron warriors on this side were destroyed from the shooting, and that leaves 4 flayed ones and 1 Necron destroyer lord to try to hold it down against an entire battle force of tactical marines. The Storm Raven is still flying around shooting things. Death Company is still running around. So finally, the Flesh Terrors get their first victory in this campaign and have established a base of operations now. I'll give you guys a recap later with the developments with the story. Thanks for watching.